while the stars were mere sparks of fire, suspended in the ethereal air. The planets were like great, glowing embers, their movements governed by the whims of the atmosphere. With this insight, Anaximenes pioneered a new understanding of the heavens, one that would illuminate the path for future philosophers and astronomers. After Thales and Anaximander, Anaximenes was the third prominent philosopher in Miletus, building upon their ideas and contributing to the development of early Greek philosophy. Born around 585 to 570 BC in Miletus, a thriving city on the Ionian coast of Asia Minor, Anaximenes was part of a vibrant intellectual community that sought to understand the workings of the universe. The city was known for its philosophers, poets, and scientists who sought to understand the workings of the universe and the nature of reality. The Persian Empire, which stretched from modern-day Iran to Egypt, was a dominant power in the ancient world, and its influence can be seen in the development of philosophy and science in the region. The empire's cultural exchange, patronage of learning, and transmission of knowledge created a fertile ground for the growth of philosophical and scientific inquiry, which laid the foundation for the development of Western philosophy and science. Little is known about Anaximenes' personal life, but it is believed that he was born into a wealthy family in Miletus. He was likely a student of Anaximander, who in turn was a student of Thales. This lineage of philosophers, known as the Milesian school, was characterized by its emphasis on rational inquiry and the pursuit of knowledge. His most significant philosophical contribution was his concept of the universe as an infinite, eternal, and boundless air. He believed that air was the fundamental substance of the universe. To him, air was the primary substance from which all other things arose, and that it was the source of all life and motion. Anaximenes' monistic view holds that all things emerge from a single, underlying substance. While he didn't directly address Anaximander's Apeiron, his philosophy aligns with the tradition established by Thales and Anaximander, who also sought to define a fundamental element that gives rise to everything. So, how did he explain the air as the origin of everything? His theory of the universe was mainly based on the principles of rarefaction and condensation. He believed that air, when rarefied, became fire, and when condensed, became water, earth, and eventually, solid objects like rocks, mountains, and the earth are the most condensed ones. In contrast to modern scientific understanding, Anaximenes' explanation of hot and cold weather appears flawed. While his theory may have had some superficial similarities to scientific inquiry, it has been found to be inconsistent with the principles and methods of contemporary science. The idea about air was groundbreaking for his time, but it was based on a macroscopic understanding rather than a microscopic one. His conclusions, although brilliant in their context, were limited by the observational tools and experimental methods available to him. A key aspect of philosophical inquiry during this period was the attempt to describe natural phenomena mainly through observation and analysis. Anaximenes' views on the nature of the gods were also innovative. He believed that the gods were not separate entities, but rather manifestations of the air. This idea was a precursor to later philosophical and scientific concepts, such as the notion of a unified, underlying substance that gives rise to all phenomena. His emphasis on air as a fundamental substance might have contributed to the development of Greek thought, which eventually influenced the concept of the soul. Anaximenes proposed a new theory of the origin of the stars and the moon. He believed that the stars were formed from the Earth, which is a flat disk, suspended in midair. Then, hot, rarefied air, which he referred to as steam, rises to the sky. As this air continues to rarefy, it eventually transforms into fire. Finally, this fire made the stars, like the sun. This idea was a departure from earlier theories, which posited that the stars were fixed to a crystal sphere or were gods themselves. Anaximenes' observations on the behavior of air and its relationship to weather phenomena were also groundbreaking. He recognized that air was responsible for the formation of clouds, wind, and rain, and that it played a crucial role in shaping the Earth's landscape. Notably, he is credited as the first Greek philosopher to distinguish between planets and stars, and to propose that the rainbow is a natural phenomenon rather than a divine manifestation. His legacy can be seen in the work of later philosophers and scientists in ancient Greece and Rome, who built upon his ideas and developed new theories and concepts. Anaximenes' theories have been refined or replaced by more accurate and comprehensive scientific explanations. However, it's essential to acknowledge the remarkable effort and intellectual courage it took for him to venture into the unknown, despite the limited scientific tools and understanding of his time. In an era where the general population was preoccupied with daily survival, and powerful elites were focused on expanding their empires, Anaximenes' pursuit of knowledge and his attempts to make sense of the natural world are truly commendable. His contributions, though flawed by today's standards, represent a crucial step in the evolution of human understanding and the development of scientific inquiry.